Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I thought I would do a little Q&A because we have been getting new subscribers literally every day. It's been so much fun. And I just want you to kind of get to know me a little bit better. So starting off strong is, how do you handle solo parenting so much? What are your tips for that? This would not be as positive of an experience if my parents weren't so involved and hands-on and nearby. So that is my big caveat for this discussion. I would not be doing so well if I didn't have them. There's that. But I think on the days where I don't have their help, I'm here alone, the biggest things that I'm gonna say are have something other than your child, a hobby perhaps, that you can look forward to. So for me, that is sometimes scrapbooking, sometimes sewing. I have YouTube. I look forward to doing those things when he's down for his nap, when I have a quiet moment, when he's playing happily. Have like something like that is outside of your mom duties, that is something that fills your cup, something that excites you and makes you look forward to something throughout your day, because sometimes it can just become this like monotonous loop of taking care of your baby, making meals, cleaning up messes, and you like feel like nothing is exciting you and you're not doing anything for you. Like YouTube is a huge outlet for me. I look forward to filming this at his nap time. I look forward to editing my shorts when he's napping. I try to really focus on being present with him when he's awake, because that is the whole point of being a stay-at-home mom for me, is to be present for him. And then when he's down, like I can look forward to doing this outlet or scrapbooking or sewing or whatever my hobby is that I'm working on at the time. Other tip that I would have is podcasts, music. Have something that you can play in the background when you're with your child, when you're doing your chores. I think that's a given, but those really get me through sometimes. Go on walks. Runs, if you're a runner, get a running stroller, get outside. Even just sit outside in the sun at a park, take your kid to the playground. Like outdoors is a game. Like if I ever feel myself being like, oh, I can't do this anymore, I go outside. I go on a walk. Today it was literally raining out and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing well. I've got to get out with him. He's getting into everything. He's whining, he's fussy. We're going on a walk. Bundle him up, make sure he's all dry in his stroller. And we just went for a quick, it was probably like half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, but it changed my headspace. We came back, whole different child, whole different mom. We could start again, kill some time, get outside. It's always a good option. Those are probably my biggest tips for solo parenting. How old am I? I am 22 years old. I sometimes forget that I'm 22. I often tell people I'm 21. For some reason, my brain has not caught up to the fact that I'm 22, but I am turning 23 this year. How old were you when you got married, engaged, and had your first baby? I was 19 when I got engaged, 20 when I was married, 21 when I got pregnant and had my baby. Where did you meet your husband? I met my husband at college. We both went to college in Chicago. Such a fun experience. And basically, long story short, I met him in a big group of friends and thought he was cute. And then he hit me up. He texted me, asked if I wanted to hang out with him. We ended up actually going out on our first date to Chipotle, and then literally could not stop hanging out with each other. It was like we were each other's drug. We just couldn't stop, and have never stopped since. I'm still obsessed with him. So how did you know he was the one? I just literally, the second I started talking to him, it was like little like flashing lights going off in my head, and I just literally knew that I was going to marry him pretty much right away. And he knew that about me, and we said it within like a couple weeks of knowing each other. We were like, so like we're gonna get married. I remember talking to my parents on the phone at college, and I was telling them about this boy that I was hanging out with all the time, and I was like, I really do think that this is the guy I'm gonna marry. And they were like, excuse me? And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, I just think I'm gonna marry him. And they were like, okay. I brought him home for, was it Christmas break? And they met him, and I was like, I'm serious. And they were like, oh yeah, he's pretty great. So anyways, did you date other people before your husband? Yes, I did. Joe was not my first boyfriend. I definitely got around with the boys when I was in high school. I really enjoyed male company, and honestly, I kind of regret it because I feel like I hung out and prioritized boy friendships so much in high school that I kind of missed out on female friendships that I feel like I could have cultivated and still had to this day. Like, I don't really have close friends from high school. The close friends that I have are definitely from before high school. I didn't make any new friends going into high school because I literally made my boyfriends my life, and I really regret that, and I wish I hadn't done that. So if you're in high school, definitely make sure that you're still prioritizing girls and your girlfriends and making girlfriends, because obviously boys are fun, but especially in high school, they come and go, and I really wish that I hadn't spent so much of my time with those boys. I wish that I had spent more time making friends that would last a lifetime, because ultimately I'm not friends with those boys anymore, and I don't have any friends to show for my high school experience. So what degree did you get in college? I got a degree in children and family ministry. So basically I learned all about human development, child development, the different childhood stages. I'm trained to be able to take care of situations within a family unit, such as like if your child is going through a certain developmental struggle, I would be able to step in and give some advice and help. A lot of times people in that major are working in like a church Sunday school type of situation or an orphanage, which is why I actually decided to choose that major, because my heart is to work overseas as a missionary in Africa, and I always have wanted to work with children in some capacity, such as like an orphanage, or have some type of a family ministry where I can minister to families. So that is why I chose that major specifically. I don't regret it. I love the major. I learned so much. It was very challenging. It pushed me out of my comfort zone. I mean, I took counseling classes, I took Bible teaching classes, I took a lot of different types of classes. It was so well-rounded, and it just pounded into my head so many things that I feel like are going to be so useful down the line. So that is the major I got. Is it true that you're adopted? What's the backstory there? Yeah, I am adopted. I was adopted when I was 4 years old, and I don't talk a whole lot about that on here. Maybe someday I will. Right now it's kind of a little bit private, but I was adopted, and I am very, very thankful. It was just all the Lord. He did it. And yeah, I don't want to get too much into the backstory. Maybe at some point I'll just make that its own video if I want to someday. But yeah, and that has definitely inspired me to want to adopt someday in the future as well, because it's one of the coolest things that you can literally do. I feel like bringing them into your family and loving them as your own and caring for them and showing them that unconditional love that they've never had before, perhaps, just immaculate, beautiful, wonderful, one of the best things that I feel like someone can do for someone else. So I love that, and it is a huge part of my story, and I'm very proud of the fact that I'm adopted, because there was so much hurt and love that went into that decision for my mother, for my adoptive parents, for so many family members, friends. Like so many people were affected by that decision for my ultimate good. And it is just the most beautiful symbolism of sacrifice and love. What religion are you? I am a Christian. I grew up in the Baptist church. I was very much a Baptist church girl. I would not say that I am a Baptist now. I don't know if I really identify with any certain denomination. Personally, I really get frustrated with people who get caught up on denominations and certain different philosophies, theologies, and they start quibbling and fighting. I believe that the most important thing is that we believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins, rose again on the third day. We agree on that. Like, that is the most important thing. I get really frustrated when people are getting upset with each other about fringe things outside of the gospel. And of course those things are important, but no one has it all figured out. No one is fully correct. Only the Lord knows every little gray area in the Bible. And so personally, that's my 2 cents. I believe the gospel. Have you ever traveled outside the US? Only once. Only one time. I went to Senegal to visit my then boyfriend, now husband's family, who was living there at the time, which was really fun. Like one of the best experiences ever, because I have always, like I said, wanted to be a missionary in Africa, but I'd never actually been there. And I think it was a good way to kind of get my first glimpse. Really enjoyed making this Q&A, so make sure you drop your questions down below, or you can either email them to me. I'll also have my email link down below, but it's also in my bio. You can email me any questions that you'd like to hear answers to. And I appreciate all of you guys so much. If you made it here in this video, comment this emoji. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because it really helps the algorithm and it helps me out. And make sure you share this with your friends and family. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.